with Juice Your Treats. Today we're going to really special treat. I don't need a penny. Today we're going to do a really special thing. I don't need a penny. I'm not in a... I don't need a penny. They made me wear the penny. Hi everyone, welcome back to Juice Your Treats TV. I'm Fraser Leigh, and today we're actually going to show you how to use the JR8000S whole fruit slow juicer to actually create a smoothie type juice thing that incorporates avocado. A lot of people will actually talk about how to put avocados in juices. You can't do that. We all know we can't do that, but with the 8000S you can do that because it comes with the blender filter. Some people will make their juice, then they'll put their juice into a blender and add their avocado. That's fine, but in our opinion, you are offsetting the fact that you have cold pressed your juice. By putting it in your blender, you're now creating heat and ruining the enzymes that you saved in the first place. So today, for this recipe, what we're gonna need, my faithful subject, a lime. I have a cucumber, thank you, a carrot, a couple of carrots please. Thank you, beetroot, an apple, and finally the avocado. That's it, thank you very much. Okay, what we're going to do here, first and foremost, is just set the juicer up as you always would, just with the standard juicing filter. Now as we've seen, you might have seen with our JR8000, this is the S version, it's the upgraded model, slimmer and lighter. And what we've got is the ability with this, if you're someone, we've spoken about our other juicers, our purists and so on, which give the purest juice. If you are someone who just wants the biggest convenience, you do not want to do any kind of chopping, bear in mind there is still some chopping involved, as you'll see with some of these, but if you want to put a whole apple in, you can do so because it's got the wide feed chute on there. Okay, just like all our other machines, slow masticating juicer, very easy to use, very quiet. I can still carry on this video, turn the machine on, you wouldn't hardly even know it was on. We're just going to get straight on a juice. Make it in the usual fashion and push it past the chopping blade that's in there, and the juicer just starts getting to work. There we go, give it a little push if it doesn't go in. Things like carrots you can throw in. I'm going to actually allow the juice to pour out for this juice because I actually prefer to allow the juice to come out the machine. I don't hold the juice inside the bowl because I find that the pulp and the juice stay stuck together for too long and you get a pulpier juice. If the food does get stuck or it doesn't go down, don't be afraid to give it a bit of a push. They're very solid machines. That's what the push is for at the end of the day. I still would recommend, you could put this whole bit of cucumber in, it's a whole juicer, but I would still recommend chopping it just at least once because there's still a bend. There's still a bend in the lid. So the food still has to turn and go in. If it's very long, imagine it's going down there. If it's very long, it's not going to be able to turn. So just still consider putting the odd chop in some food and then dropping it in afterwards. There's no real order to the way I'm putting the food in. I'm just getting the juice done as quickly as possible. Done my carrots. Now, lime. This was a touchy one. Limes and citrus. Some limes are quite small, they're quite dense. The skin on these, it can be a little bit tough on filters. Gauge it for yourself. This particular one, I'm not going to do too much of the lime anyway. I'm just going to put half of that lime in. It will juice it. I can see the skin's quite thin on that one, so I'm just going to throw the lime in as well. No problem, no need to peel it. I've said in some other videos, things like oranges, again, the machines will juice them, but consider whether you want to juice them, that's all, because when you put the citrus skin in, especially with the oranges can make the juice go a little bit bitter, that's all. Beetroot. I still chop the beetroot in half, at least. Beetroot's rock hard, so I want the machines to last when I use them. I hope you do too. You can still throw it in. It's still going to munch through it, no problem. But you can hear that little bit of extra strain that's on the filters from the rock hard beetroot. So we still recommend just chopping the beetroot down for the life of your machine, life of your filters and so on. You want these things to last at the end of the day. Okay, that's that. Right, the juice is now done. So just allow that to run through and we can then just stop the machine. Right. Oh, delicious. Love the beetroot. Right. At this point, what we're going to do, we're actually going to switch the filters round because I want to put avocado in it. I've added avocado in other videos before and I've actually put them in there with the original filter. Now it will do it because what you do is you actually keep the cap closed, you hold your juice inside the machine and you add your avocado, so essentially you're just mixing the avocado in with the machine. But for those of you who haven't juiced, who don't know, avocado is not something you can juice. It just gets squashed. It's got a very high fat content, very low juice content, if any, and actually it just gets squashed down. So it's actually better with the avocado to actually make smoothies with it, which is why some people will now pour that juice into a blender, add the avocado and whiz it up. Again, I said at the start of the video, that in our opinion offsets the fact you've slow pressure your juice in the first place. So the beauty of the JR8000S, which is different to pretty much every other juicer we can think of, is that you can switch the filters over. There's no need, get your fingers a little bit messy when you're doing it, but it's worth it because rather than actually putting it into another machine, you can now just keep it all into one machine. So take your juice filter out, the yellow juice filter out, and then what you've got to do next, and I will go get in a second, is actually you switch it for the silver smoothie filter. So the smoothie filter, we've now gone and got that. The smoothie filter, what this does, it has no extraction hole. A lot of other juicers that you'll see when you're looking around in your research have bigger holes. Just like this smoothie filter has bigger holes. But what makes this smoothie filter different is it actually blocks the extraction hole so it doesn't separate pulp from juice. So you can make dedicated smoothies with this in your machine. Okay, it's not a commercial blender or anything like that, but just single serve, 1 glass or 2 of smoothies. This is a really nice little feature. But what you can do when you're making a juice and want to add avocado, you can use this smoothie filter to add your avocado, because the bigger holes allow the machine to squash the avocado through the holes and mix into your juice. So now put your silver smoothie filter in, line up the red dots, and just put it in as you would do with your juice filter. Make sure you put your auger back in. It's embarrassing when you forget to do that. Okay, and just put your lid on as usual. So you basically set it up exactly like you would do for juicing, but now with the silver smoothie filter. Close your juice cap, because if you take your jug away, we're going to pour the juice back in. If you haven't closed your juice cap, you're going to regret it. It's going to go all over your counter. Make sure the cap is closed. Or if you want to double check, put the pulp on underneath it, whatever, but make sure it's closed. Pour your juice back in the machine. So what we're doing now is essentially using the juicer, your JR juicer, as a blender. Okay, there's no need for that second appliance for adding the avocado. You don't need to clean up that second appliance. So for the sake of switching your filters over, what you can now do is have your cap closed, turn your machine on. All that's now doing is just rotating around inside, but only because we've got this smoothie filter can you now start adding your avocado into the machine, because the machine will now squash the avocado through the filter holes and act like a blender. So at this point I have to re-emphasize, we are not juicing this avocado. We are using the smoothie filter to squash the avocado through the bigger holes and mix in with the juice to create your thicker avocado-filled juice. And unlike having to do this with a blender, like some other people are telling you to do, what you can do with this is actually create this concoction, this beautiful concoction, without having to use a fast blender, which is going to create heat friction, denature enzymes, which is offsetting the slow juicing. I've waffled there basically to fill time while this is mixing the ingredients in. That's going to be enough. So while the machine is still going, you can now allow the juice to pour out. And that is now a juice avocado smoothie, all made with your JR8000S juicer. Now, for me, I'd much rather do that than have to, number one, use a second appliance, but number two, generate heat, which I'm trying to reduce by using the JR8000S anyway. So, let's have a quick look at what we've got. Close the cap again, remember? And then you can pour this out. And that, I think you'll agree, is an absolutely delicious looking, rich, dark juice that I just think just looks like a whole glass full of health. And it has then got inside of that the healthy fats that come from the avocado. And there's, as far as we're concerned, there's not many other juicers that can do that. Cheers.